Listen up, people, because today I will be spilling the tea on how I went from this to this in a relatively short period of time. Hello, beautiful people of the internet. My name is Maggie and welcome back to my channel. As you may have seen by the title, today we're talking all about glow-ups. If you're new here, make sure to click that big red subscribe button down below and also click the notification bell if you don't want to miss out on any of my videos. Make sure to like this video as well, it really helps out my channel, and comment down below something nice. Let's get right into this video, shall we? As I mentioned before, and as you may have seen by the title, we will be talking about glow-ups, specifically law of assumption glow-ups and my experience glowing up. And this is not only a physical glow-up, but a mental glow-up as well. So if you want to learn how to improve on yourself both mentally and physically, make sure to stick until the end of this video because I will be sharing my best tips on how you can glow up this year. First of all, before I say anything, you need to know what the law of assumption is. Some of you that have seen my previous videos know that I preach the law of assumption. I live by it. If you've heard of the law of attraction, it's something similar, but better. It is the original theory. The law of attraction, I don't know where that came from, honestly. So the law of assumption was taught by Neville Goddard, and it is a theory that your thoughts and assumptions create your reality. So whatever your most frequent thoughts and assumptions are, that is what is going to show up in your 3D world, in the physical world. There are many not techniques, but ways in which you can incorporate this law into your daily lifestyle and daily routines. Another point that I wanted to mention is that this should be simple and straightforward. No difficult methods, no 55 by 5, none of that crap, okay? Manifesting should be easy and simple and straightforward. Little reminder, we've been manifesting our whole lives. So why make it so difficult as some of these law of attraction people do? It is nothing that difficult. It is very simple, and I'm gonna tell you why it is so. And basically with the law of assumption, you can change anything. You can change your appearance, you can change how people treat you, you can change your financial status, literally anything that you want. You can have whatever glow up you desire, okay? It doesn't have to be physical or mental. It can be, as I said, financial status or glowing up grade-wise in school. It can be anything because you are in control all the damn time. Every single day, you can decide what happens in your life. Let's now talk about how I incorporated the law of assumption to manifest a glow up. I've been feeling way more confident in these past few months. I've been feeling better about myself in general, mentally and physically. Some people may not see this change, but I see this change. It is noticeable to me. And that is what's most important. And also for you, it is most important about how you feel and how this impacts you directly and not what everyone else will see. So that is one thing to keep in mind. The first and most important thing, listen up because this is so important, and it is self-concept. Now, what is self-concept? It is straightforward like self-concept, you know, but it is basically your opinion, your thoughts and assumptions about yourself. It is kind of the base of your manifestations. You will be able to manifest things with a bad self-concept, but they might not work out quite as well as you would like them to work out. And if you have a good self-concept, that is like a good view of yourself, an assumption that you always get what you want, all of these positive things, you will see drastic changes in your 3D world. Because if you have a good self-concept, that is going to be reflected back to you. Look at your 3D world, whatever's happening around you, like a mirror. You are not going to touch that directly. You have to work within yourself to change whatever's in the mirror, if that makes sense. So if you want to change anything about yourself, you go within and you practice on your inner conversations, your self-talk, everything like that, and then you'll see the change in your 3D reality. The way to achieve and work on this self-concept, there's a couple of ways that you can do that, but they have to be consistent. I'm not talking about methods. You throw methods out of the window. I mean, they could help you, but as I mentioned in my other videos, it's just like a cycle that repeats itself. Like you choose one method, then it doesn't work, then you choose another and it doesn't work and it repeats itself. No, you have to stop that. You have to pick a couple of habits that will be consistent in order to see results in your 3D. The 3 main ones that I use, for example, is affirmations, inner conversations, and visualizing. Now, you don't need to use all 3 of them. I mostly use affirmations for my self-concept work and for any other manifestations that I have. You basically have to be on a mental diet. And what that means is that you have to watch over your thoughts and your inner conversations. And when you see that you're thinking something that is not aligned with what you want, in this case your glow up, you have to stop yourself and start thinking from the place of the wish fulfilled. What is the state of the wish fulfilled? It is basically you thinking as if you already had what you want to manifest. In this case, a glow up. If you think of yourself as ugly, you have to stop that, because then, as I said, the 3D world will reflect that back to you. If you want to change that and you work on your self-concept and then you catch yourself thinking, oh my god, I'm so ugly. No, you stop that thought, you throw it into the bin, and you start affirming your affirmations that you have for that self-concept part. Like, oh my god, I'm so beautiful. I'm the most beautiful person on this planet. Everyone thinks I'm beautiful. I'm perfection. I'm so perfect. You block out those negative thoughts with the positive ones that are in line with your manifestation. And no, you do not have to believe those thoughts, that's one thing, and you do not have to feel happy 24/7, which are 2 misconceptions taken from the law of attraction. As long as you think from the wish fulfilled, you will see results. A lot of people say you will not believe it until you see it. So you have to persist in those affirmations and in those self-concept affirmations and views of yourself until you see changes happening in your 3D world. And you have to persist, persist, persist. That is so important. And another thing that I mentioned, you do not have to be happy 24/7. We're human. We are allowed to have our own emotions. You do not have to feel confident all the time in order to be beautiful or anything else. If you affirm it, you will see it, and it doesn't matter what emotions you have. As long as you don't react mentally, if you don't spiral into those negative thoughts, you'll be okay. And it's okay if you react emotionally. As I said, we are human. We experience basic emotions. And yeah, so with the self-concept, you have to hype yourself up every single day. Like, you have to wake up. I mean, you don't have to, but it's really good. I've done this. I would wake up, I would go do some mirror work, which I'll talk about later, and I would just hype myself up as if I was my own bestie, okay? You have to be your own best friend and your best hype person, because if you're not gonna do it, no one's gonna do it for you. So you have to remember to be loyal to yourself and to be loving to yourself and love yourself first, which is another point. I mean, you don't have to love yourself, but be kind to yourself. Remember that you got yourself. You cannot rely on other people to give you that love that you don't have in yourself in the first place. So it is very important to repeat affirmations about self-love as well, because I feel like it is a really important part of glowing up, both physically and mentally. If you don't love yourself and if you don't have that kindness for yourself, you will not feel great. And even if others see you and they're like, oh my god, they're so beautiful, and you don't feel that way about yourself and you don't love yourself, I mean, you get the approval from society, but you will still feel crappy on the inside. So even if you see all of those jerks pointing at you, being like, they're so not cool, whatever, you block that out and you work on yourself. And if you feel happy with yourself, It doesn't matter what the others tell you because you will be happy and satisfied no matter what happens. Screw the people that don't accept you for who you are. You should always be yourself and put yourself first and love yourself first. And so yeah, I've mentioned affirmations before and I wanted to talk a little bit more about them. Affirmations are quite important. I want to make one thing clear. Manifesting does not have rules and you make the rules. I personally like to choose a couple of affirmations that are short and straight to the point of what I want to manifest. So for my self-concept, I'm the most beautiful person on this planet. I'm pure perfection. I'm royalty. And I can't remember exactly which ones I have. I have like a whole list, but I choose a couple of them and I repeat them constantly. Like, you don't have to repeat them 24/7, but whenever you think of that desire, you should be affirming for it and you should be repeating those thoughts. And the more you repeat them, the quicker they will impress the subconscious mind, because remember, the subconscious mind does not have eyes. It will consume whatever you feed it. So the more you feed it these positive thoughts about yourself glowing up and being the best version of yourself, the quicker it will understand and it will change your circumstances around you. Because remember, your dominant thoughts will create what you're seeing. So for example, if you don't believe this, take one of your thoughts that is your most recurring thought. Like, take some circumstance that you repeat to yourself every single day and tell me that you don't see that in your 3D. Like, usually when someone brags about being broke or brags about being too fat, too skinny, they usually cannot escape their position. Like, they're usually stuck in that situation, and that is because their dominant thought is that they're not good enough, and people see them that way because that's their dominant thought. That's how the 3D reacts to those thoughts. So if your dominant thoughts are good and like your self-concept is on fire, then you will see that reflected back to you. It is as simple as that. Another thing that I used in glowing up mentally and physically were subliminal messages. I use these videos on YouTube. You do have to be careful with subliminals because I know there have been some cases where the messages behind them were bad, but that YouTuber is gone now. So I have a couple of channels that I trust. I'll put them down in the description. And subliminal messages are basically hidden affirmations. They're hidden behind music. Usually it's music mainly here on YouTube. Those hidden messages, they're there under the music. Your conscious mind cannot process the affirmations. So they go straight forward to your subconscious mind. And that is a great advantage because the conscious mind usually, it acts as a logical barrier. If I affirm that my hair is blonde or that I have brown eyes, obviously my conscious mind, it's not going to believe that. While the subconscious mind cannot see, as I said, it does not have eyes. So with these messages, it can be a great tool to use it because the subconscious mind will process it and then you will see it in the 3D and it will change your appearance and everything. Another thing that I did that really helped me with my self-concept and just glowing up, you know, was the self-concept challenge that was in Sammy Ingram's Facebook group. Now, if you don't know Sammy Ingram, she is the queen of the law of assumption and manifesting. You should definitely check out her channel. I'll link her down below as well. She has this Facebook group and she has all of these different manifestation coaches in there. And this one coach called Netta, she organized a self-concept challenge and she gave us little tasks to do every single day. That helped so much in feeling good about myself, in speeding up my manifestations. And here is what I did during that challenge. She asked us to write love letters to ourselves every day for 2 weeks. I feel like that is such a great concept. You sit down and you focus on journaling for a bit and you just pretend that you're some lover writing a letter to you. And you just list all these positive qualities about yourself. You hype yourself up. You tell yourself that you love yourself. It's such like a booster for feeling great. And if you do it in the morning and in the evening, you'll feel great throughout the whole day, in my opinion, and while you sleep as well. So another part of this challenge was mirror work, which I mentioned at the beginning of this video. And mirror work is basically going up to the mirror and hyping yourself up as if you were talking to your best friend, and you sit there for like 30 minutes straight. It would be kind of weird if someone walked in on you doing mirror work, like hyping yourself up in the mirror, but I think it's worth the risk. It is such a booster for feeling great. Like after doing mirror work, I promise you will feel on top of this world. Just repeat your affirmations to yourself in the mirror and you will see drastic changes in how you act and how you feel. You'll feel a boost of confidence, a boost of self-love, and everything. I feel like it's a great thing to do. And also treat yourself. Treating yourself is good. It makes you feel great. Like do some self-care, buy yourself something nice. Treat yourself like you want others to treat you. Because if you treat yourself good and with respect and with lots of love, others will treat you the same way. Some of my last tips is to do this for yourself, because I know a lot of the people, they want to change for someone else, and that is not worth it. Okay, you may change and that person may love you now, but if you don't like yourself, if you don't like that version that you have created for them, you will not be happy with yourself. And that, I think, is a bit of a bummer, if you ask me. You should do these things for yourself. Change for yourself and see yourself as the best version that you could ever be, just for you. As I said before, prioritize yourself. Become a goddamn queen, king, goddess, god, whatever you like, whatever royalty you want to be, and embrace that. Even if you don't feel like it, treat yourself as if you were on top of this world, because remember, you are the god of your own reality and you create the rules. You should put yourself on the pedestal and sit there and never let anyone else take you away from that pedestal. Once you put yourself in that position, and once you give yourself all of that power, you will see everyone else conforming to you, because as Neville Goddard teaches, everyone is you pushed out. Everyone acts based on your assumptions of the world and of the people in general. So just give yourself that power and don't let anyone put you down from your throne where you belong. Change the way you see yourself and you will see the world changing based on those assumptions, and you will see how everyone else starts treating you, because you deserve to be treated like royalty. So yeah, those are my tips on how I glowed up both mentally and physically. It is all to do with the law of assumption. I might make like a different video explaining the law of assumption in depth and maybe making like a guide for beginners to manifesting. It really isn't that difficult. It should be simple, as I said before. So don't beat yourself up. Just be kind to yourself at all times. You don't have to be perfect, but you can affirm that you're perfect, because technically you are. We're all perfect in our own ways. We were created to be perfect and to rule our own world, because I do believe that we are all the main characters of our own story. So take that power to yourself and use it. And don't forget that you are worth it, you're loved, and you're everything good. I really hope you found this video helpful. I really hope that I helped someone. I affirm that y'all will be the most perfect version of yourselves. In fact, you already are. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, follow me on Instagram, and I hope you're gonna have a wonderful day. I'll see you in my next video. Stay groovy. Bye!